Assalamu alaikum students. How are you? Hope you all are fine. I'm Miss Kiran, your computer teacher. Let's start our today's lesson. Open your books. Chapter number 1. Our today's topic is generations of computers. Students, before going to start our lesson, I want to tell you about Compo. Compo is Muna's computer. He wants to tell you about his grandfathers. Students, with the passage of time, there were many technologies that were used in computers. On the basis of these technologies, computers are categorized into many generations. The generation which was developed during 1946 to 58 is called first generation of computers. Here is a dialogue between a Zozo and a Compo. Zozo is a person and Compo is a computer. Zozo, Compo, please tell us about the first generation of computers. Compo, about 70 years ago, my grandfather, ENIAC, and other computers of that time were gigantic. They had thousands of parts, weighed hundreds of kilos, and filled huge rooms. 70 years पहले फर्स्ट जनरेशन कंप्यूटर का नाम एनाइक था और उस तरह के और भी कंप्यूटर्स थे। वो साइज़ में बहुत ज़्यादा बड़े थे। जाइगेंटिक मीन्स ह्यूज। उनके थाउजेंड्स में पार्ट्स थे और उनका वेट 100 ऑफ किलोज़ में था और उनको रखने के लिए एक बहुत बड़े रूम की ज़रूरत होती थी। Now, Zozo, 100 of kilos, that must be really heavy. Compo, yes, in fact, thousands of vacuum tubes were used to make these computers. Zozo, ये तो 100 of kilos तो बहुत ज़्यादा वज़न है। Compo, yes, हाँ, because इन कंप्यूटर्स के अंदर वैक्यूम ट्यूब्स यूज़ होती थी थाउजेंड्स में, जिसकी वजह से इनका वेट जो है वो ज़्यादा था। जोजो, व्हाट आर वैक्यूम ट्यूब्स? वैक्यूम ट्यूब्स क्या हैं? कॉम्पो, वैक्यूम ट्यूब्स वर मेड ऑफ ग्लास एंड गेव अ लॉट ऑफ हीट जस्ट लाइक लाइट बल्ब्स. So a lot of energy was used to make my grandfather and other computers like him. Students, you can see the vacuum tube in a figure 1.2 and an ENIAC. You are saying vacuum tubes were made of glass. Vacuum tubes ग्लास की बनी हुई होती थी और उनमें से बहुत ज़्यादा एनर्जी और हीट जो है वो निकलती थी, जिस तरह लाइट बल्ब्स में से निकलती है। इन वैक्यूम ट्यूब्स को कूल रखने के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा एनर्जी की ज़रूरत पड़ती थी। द कंप्यूटर्स ऑफ दैट generations were huge, slow, and used a lot of power. Students, you can say these are the drawbacks of first generation of computers. They were huge, slow, and used a lot of power. These drawbacks were covered in the second generation of computers. Second generation computers was started from 1959 to 64. Zozo, it is really interesting. Please tell us further. Compo, a small electronic device called the transistor, not the one you listen to, was invented in 1947. कॉम्पो एक छोटी सी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक डिवाइस जिसको ट्रांजिस्टर कहते हैं वो 1947 में इन्वेंट हुई थी. वैक्यूम ट्यूब्स इन कंप्यूटर्स वर सून रिप्लेस्ड बाय ट्रांजिस्टर्स. फर्स्ट जनरेशन कंप्यूटर्स में वैक्यूम ट्यूब्स यूज़ होती थी, उनको रिप्लेस किया था सेकेंड जनरेशन में ट्रांजिस्टर्स ने. Students, you can see the second generation of computer in a figure 1.2 and also a transistor. Transistors were smaller, less expensive, generated much less heat and required very little power. Transistors बहुत ज़्यादा small थे as compared to vacuum tubes, less expensive थे और कम heat की ज़रूरत होती थी. RCA, my grandfather RCA 501 was built using these transistors. RCA 501 is a computer that was built by using these transistors. Zozo, how are the second generation computers different from the first generation computers? Zozo, सेकेंड जनरेशन कंप्यूटर्स जो हैं वो फर्स्ट जनरेशन कंप्यूटर से कैसे डिफरेंट थे. कॉम्पो, दे वर स्मॉलर इन साइज, फास्टर, चीपर एंड मोर रिलायबल. These are the advantages of second generation of computers. Students, then was invented the silicon chip. I will tell you about the silicon chip in my next class. Hopefully, students, you have learned the lesson carefully. Now, it's your homework. Read out these 2 pages 2 or 3 times and highlight all important points. Students, here some instructions for you. Worksheets of computers are available on the website of DMC. You must download these worksheets to avoid any inconvenience in future. Okay students, see you tomorrow. Allah Hafiz.